cardiologist care who have confirmed myopathy and walking on a medical treadmill. Those on GG and those not on GG. The study is ongoing. We probably won't know until the end of this year to figure out if we would mitigate the myopathy. So that's it. So this is as clear as I bring it out to be. So now I can only show you on animal study and some biochemistry. This is a protein synthesis part. I don't want to bore you on this. It probably, and also work on sarcopenia. So that means not necessarily on statin. Sarcopenia, that's a big problem, you know. As we age, we lose muscle mass, and we try to resist the muscle mass loss by having exercise. So that piece, sarcopenia is lack of making muscle, and therefore it's also a GG piece. Everybody in the room knows we need amino acid and creatine and some of these branch amino acid like that. Those are the fuel for making the protein. But most people don't know. If I go back, see this slide here? Look at the protein thing. You need the GG. A protein has molecular weight typically like 100,000. It is much, much bigger than an albatross. Because CoQ10 is 1,000 like that. So when the protein is half made, something have to hold on to the protein. Does everybody ever explain to you? If you take copious amount of protein, it doesn't just go to where you think you want to go to. The protein is chopped liver. It becomes like amino acid. And then they have to restitch it back. And how does it restitch it back? In the nucleus. The DNA do it. We have 20 essential amino acids. The permutation will be impossible to fathom, except if you're controlled by the DNA. So the DNA make one amino acid at a time to stitch it on. And then when it's half stitched on, then the protein is already 50,000. It's huge. So there's something holding on to the protein, partially made protein, until it's fully made. That unassuming compound is GG. So if you don't have the GG, the body is unable to make it. It's not even an amino acid. It's just a diterpenoid. You know, but it needs that to live. So I said that I would come back to visit the MK4 because people know about MK7, anti-arteriosclerosis, and that help to make strong bone, the MK7. I don't disagree that those studies are valid. And people said that, oh, vitamin K1 eat a lot of dark green vegetable, phyloquinone. Vitamin K2 would be MK7, because of fermentation you make in the gut. The Japanese natto, you have fermentation, kimchi, blah, 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 like that. Correct. But isn't it curious? If you take organ meat and meat, there's no MK7. They're MK4. So it's like, aha. So if it is meat and in the human body, they're MK4. I want to know about that. And I can tell you further, the only manoquinone made in the human body is MK4. So don't you want to know why the body wants to make MK4 and not MK7? MK7 is made here in the colon. So if we make in the colon, well, that's not absorbed. It's already past the intestine for absorption. So it's probably good for IBS and those things, or some kind of a gut brain axis, gut liver axis. I'm not trying to poo-poo that there's a place for that, but that's a further reach than if the body makes MK4 directly, it makes MK4 extrahepatically in 25 different organs. So there must be a reason why the body makes MK4 to the exclusion of all the other MK. Here it is, in the simple biochemistry on the right-hand side. The top curve, the top picture there is phyloquinone saturated, and then only a fixed amount go in for clotting factor, and then the tail is cut off, the phytal tail, and then the quinone goes in, and then they look for a GG in 25 different organs, stitch it onto the ring. That's MK4. I'm putting it as plainly as I could for you. This biochemistry is not going to change. This is a biochemistry. Therefore, the question is, MK4 is made less only if when we get older we don't make enough GG. Because the tail is GG. And also, if you take statin drug, it only make it worse because it inhibits GG. And if you take bisphosphonate, it inhibits GG. That's it. So it's biochemistry, not even nutrition, and it's not going to change, And by the way, if you go back here, this is only it is only proven in 2010 GG converts to MK4. So it's not a long time ago. This study was done about 3-5 years ago. I did not know at the time that GG converts to MK4. So we used GG and it increased strong bone. Had I known, I would have asked the scientist, can you measure how much MK4 it is there? So now, however, GG increased the bone health. So GG converts to, by the way, for the record, we sell a lot of MK4. Mostly people buy MK7, MK4 here. In Japan, ironically, the other one have natto, they make MK7. Natto, you read it. They inseminate this in your head, But in Japan, the only drug for anti-osteoporosis is MK4. Isn't that curious? 45 milligrams. You Google, MK4 anti-osteoporosis drug is in Japan. But here is a nutritional supplement. MK4, not 7. So here, inflammation, I can do another time for you. This one I like. Oh, my bottom thing slipped. It just got moved around. On the left curve there would be control, CoQ10, cholesterol blank, shaded CoQ10. And then the next one to it, if you add statin, cholesterol drop expected, CoQ10 drop. See that? You go to the next one, that would be GG. If you put GG, it does not lower cholesterol, not supposed to, but it increases the synthesis of CoQ10. See that? The third column. And then on the fourth column, it's GG plus statin. Sorry, the bottom thing mess around, move it. So it's statin and GG, the cholesterol drop, and the GG prevents the statin to lower the CoQ10. That's it. That's all this study. Italian study. I already talked about myopathy. I'm going to skip this. And this is, they did it on zebrafish. On the muscle thing, you can see the destruction of the muscle tone on the statin and GG in the bottom. And even in the cell simply just died. The statin treated, the cell kind of clumped together. It is not viable like that. Australian study. The GG increased calf muscle force. You see that? With the statin reduces force production and GG completely abrogated. And when they don't give statin, it increases muscle force. So it works on people with soulless muscle atrophy. And the dosage you can see in the bottom. And this is another study in Japan. They atrophy the muscle, no GG added. And so this is a translation for people who study muscular atrophy, like in sarcopenia. And why are the Japanese scientists interested in this? Because the elderly population is high, so they care about this. And they identify GG as a source for that. This is a study done in China. In the last 10 years, we begin to notice people who take statin to lower cholesterol, they begin to have statin-induced diabetes. Yeah, like that. You see that? You can read it in the news. And it came out from the Jupiter study. They found out that this is so because statin incapacitate the muscle to take up the sugar. So they lose energy, low energy, and the uptake of the glucose is not there. When they add GG, you can see the glucose increase, the insulin increase, the glucose uptake increase, both in the blood, and the second one also in the muscle, and they check out on four of those different muscles. So yet here they identify that GG is also decimation of GG by statin is also responsible for statin-associated diabetes causing. And this is a study on the GG impact on glucose without statin. So I didn't want to say that only in statin case GG is relevant, but even not, you can see at the doses the GG works on improving the glucose challenge.